Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 13 of season 3 of the F1 2018 Williams Road to Glory career mode, and today we're here at the Belgian Grand Prix, my favourite track on the Formula 1 calendar. I am very much looking forward to this one here today, and we've had a rough last few rounds of this season, so coming out of what is effectively the summer break, I really want to come back strong, come back fighting, and just try to get a bigger advantage at the top of the standings. But today here at the Belgian Grand Prix, and what a brilliant track for me personally. You know, it's one of my favourite tracks on the F1 calendar, one of my strongest tracks on the F1 calendar as well. So I'm really hoping this weekend that we can just go for a nice, dominant display overall there. In terms of free practice, as you'd come to expect, fairly simple, picking up quite a lot of R&D points there last weekend out. If you missed that video, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. We have got potential news coming up over the next few rounds about some rule changes in Formula 1 as well. So quite looking forward to see what is going on with that as well. But yeah, looking forward to this Belgian Grand Prix. Hopefully we can try and get off to a good Grand Prix weekend. But obviously, first of all, we have got qualifying here for the Belgian Grand Prix. And I'm going to leave you guys on board with my run in Q3. We actually made it through into Q3 for I think the first time since... no, it must have been even earlier than Germany. It must have been Austria. The last time we were into Q3, we've had so much bad luck in the last few weeks running up to that. But breaking down in towards turn 1, just at the 100 metre board there, get the car slowed down nice and tidily through turn 1. They get a nice drive off the exit of the corner there. You can see we're ever so slightly down on my previous best so far in the session. Through a Rouge, obviously completely pinned, no way near needing to bail out through there. Over 200 miles an hour all the way through a Rouge there. Now activate the DRS up the long Kemmel straight here in towards sector 2. You can see we're currently 11-12 thousandths down as we come towards the end of sector 1 there. Break at the 100 metre board there. Try to clip the curbs through both parts of the corner there, but obviously it's an aim of just trying to get a good drive on the exit of the corner there. 180 miles an hour as we come down in towards the next hairpin here as we come now through in sector 2 here. Try to keep the car nice and tidy. You know exactly where the front end is going through. No name there. Get a very good run. Try to use all of the exit there. Nearly pushing it up towards the wall there and just down one gear through pool, and they're almost flat out once again. They're now down in towards the final chicane, in towards the final sector of the lap. We're about half a tenth up, almost a tenth up now as we come up through the chicane. They take a nice bit of curb all the way through, utilise all of the track space here, brake just at the curb as you come through the two Stavelot right-handers there. Now up in towards the final sector of the lap. Good drive out in towards Blanchimont here. This will help us all the way up this final long, well, it's not even a straight, obviously there's a lot of curves going through here. Through Blanchimont, obviously completely flat out at 209 miles an hour. Don't want to scrub off any speed through there. Brake at the 100 metre board in towards the final chicane. Take a lot of curb both on the way through the first part and the second. Try to get a good drive on the exit. A little bit of wheel spin over the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 39.9 there. That is, I think, nearly a second quicker than the Xbox TT world record. I know, obviously, the Williams car is a bit quicker as well, but that lap felt hooked up and clean. A 1 minute 39.9, half a second clear of Sebastian Vettel that would start on the front row alongside me there. Sergio Perez in P3 there, but what a way to enter this, well, to start the second half of the season there. Pole position by near enough half a second there, 3/4 of a second over my teammate. That lap felt hooked up. That was probably one of my best qualifying laps I think I've ever had on this game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one as well. I'm almost lost for words over that one there as well. But yeah, let's move on then into the Belgian Grand Prix.
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. Spa-Francorchamps then, a 4.35-mile tour of the Ardennes countryside, with 9 right corners and 10 left corners, giving us a grand total of 19. Average lap speeds in the dry can reach about 145 miles per hour, but without a significant improvement in these conditions, we won't be seeing anything like that today. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Lewis Hamilton. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. The Professor lines up on pole position with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Stroll, Nico Hülkenberg and Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, Grosjean and Esteban Ocon, Van Dorn, Hartley, Valtteri Bottas and Hamilton, Raikkonen, Ericsson, Daniel Ricciardo and Pierre Gasly. Alonso and Kevin Magnussen rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, La Source is always pretty tight, but we've got a clear run. Remember the runoff if you need it.
So here we are then on the grid, ready for the Belgian Grand Prix, and it's actually a very, very damp start here. Changeable conditions here at Spa. We could be in for an absolute classic here, but it is 5 lights here on the grid, and it's lights out, and away we go. They're off to a fairly okay start for the first time in quite a while. Actually, one of the times, well, I desperately needed a good start there, and that is what we get on the inside for turn 1 there. Sergio Perez tries to swing it right around the outside there. Nico Hülkenberg somehow gets a good run off the exit of the corner there. Goes from, what, 4th or 5th all the way up to P2 there. But now we're coming through Eau Rouge first lap, being very, very cautious through there. It's actually going to give Hülkenberg a potentially very good run up the Camel Straight here. But, you know, this Williams, it's just too fast down the straight for Yuki Renault to try and keep up here. But he is trying to have a sniff up the inside there. He does actually go for it in towards the next corner. He actually gets pushed wide. Sergio Perez tried to send it up the inside of the pair of us there. Sebastian Vettel somehow comes out with the race lead from that whole skirmish there, so I'm not too sure what happened in that one there, but we dropped down to P4 after having to take evasive action. Not really too sure all of what happened there. I think Perez went down the inside of Hülkenberg there. Hülkenberg got squeezed out into me, and honestly for me, I was just left stranded on the outside there. But yeah, Sebastian Vettel now takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix from second on the grid there, and very, very weird circumstances there. But now we need to focus on trying to get back past Sergio Perez in this race. Oh, a little bit of a moment as we come through P1 there. Don't want to try and clip that curb as little as possible. Break now down onto lap 2 here. We're now all over the back of Sergio once more here. Are we going to be able to get a good run down in towards the Kemmel Straight here? Obviously, we've got a golden opportunity to try and go for something here. The Williams so quick down the straight as well, flicking it up between overtake and rich revs there. As you can see, just making a little bit of a mistake through Eau Rouge, kicking the back end now 210 miles an hour in the drizzle, 215 almost as we come now down in towards the next at the end of the Kemmel Straight there. Perez once again tries to keep the nose up the inside. A little bit of contact actually made between the pair of us there, but we do hold on. We do get back up onto the podium there, and now we're back up into P3 of the Belgian Grand Prix here. So an okay start. We are slowly but surely climbing our way back through the order here, and next up on the old hit list is Nico Hülkenberg here as we come through these next couple of corners here. Just trying to get into a rhythm in these damp, drizzly conditions here. It does basically neutralise the car advantage that we had, but by the end though of lap 2 we clipped the wall with the rear wheel there. That sent us out into the tyre barrier. Somehow don't pick up any damage or lose our wheel there, but that is right at the virtual safety car there, and that's going to send us right down the order here. That has not been a particularly good moment for myself. Just could not get the car turned in through the corner there, and that was absolutely heartbreaking for myself. But we're going to try and be a bit cheeky here, use up all of our delta here. You know, Kimi Raikkonen has got a lot less delta to play around with than myself here, so we are going to try and park it on the outside there. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there, as I don't think Kimi was aware of what I was doing. To be fair, it was quite a cheap tactic from myself, but we do make it work there. Back up into P12 of the Belgian Grand Prix, and once again, I've said it so many times this career mode so far, we are on a fight back here. Starting all the way down in P12 there, really, really uncharacteristic mistake from myself. One of those ones where, you know, the AI didn't really cause any of it overall there, but lap 3 now, we're all over the back of Valtteri Bottas. Just look at the run we're going to be able to get up the back straight here. No ERS, or sorry, no DRS even, and still 230 miles an hour there, braking a little bit later than Valtteri. Had to take evasive action on that one there. Surprised we didn't actually get an illegal overtake from that one as well there, but I guess we make it work. We do get a warning from the FIA as well there, as it, you know, wasn't actually an attempted move on the whole, but I will certainly take it there. Back up now into P11, and next up is Esteban Ocon here as we come through Sex 2, now skipping on towards the end of the lap, running a bit wide through Blanchimont there, picking himself up, another warning on this lap. Seb sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We are, though, just almost pushing Esteban Ocon through the final couple of corners of the lap, trying to get good drive on the exit of the final turn here. Yes, we do, down towards the start-finish line here, breaking in towards come on Ocon. He's gone very, very defensive on myself, almost run to the back of Max Verstappen there, and all we're going to try and do is position ourselves right around the outside there, get the good drive of the exit of the corner there, and now that is us back up into the points of the Belgian Grand Prix here. Now back up into P10, and every position from here is now a bonus, because we are, I wouldn't say we're on damage limitation just yet, you know. I still feel we have got very, very good pace in this race here. All over the back now of Max Verstappen, just a couple of laps later here. And you can see trying to get the drive off the La Source hairpin as we come down in towards Eau Rouge once more here. We've got to be brave to try and get a good run through there. Almost lose the back end, I could feel it trying to scrub away at the rear, but we don't allow it to do so. They're in the slipstream, 210, 213 miles an hour once more here, 240, 250 miles an hour as we come up towards the end of the Kemmel Straight there, around the outside of Verstappen as well as Stoffel Van Dorn there. No idea how we were able to pull that one off, but what a move. I will certainly take that one there, lose the back end actually on the exit of the corner as well there. But yeah, what a crazy, crazy little moment there. Just went for it, really. You know, sometimes you've just got to believe in the car, and the moments like that really do fill you with confidence in this Williams car there. You know, we just had the bravery and it paid off there. One lap later, Romain Grosjean having a bit of an incident with Carlos Sainz there, and we were lucky not to get wrapped up in that one there. Now, on the end of lap 6, we will actually have to be pit for dry tyres in this race, so clearly the game doesn't think it is wet enough anymore. They do think that the dry tyres will be better at this stage of the day, but it is still drizzling here around the Belgian Grand Prix circuit, but it's in a bit of a weird window where the dries are probably a bit quicker, but it is not dry just yet. Diving into the pit lane here onto a set of these soft tyres to hopefully take us through to the end. Unfortunately, we get held up by my teammate Lance Stroll there. That has not been what we needed, and now we're going to get held in the pit lane as well. This has been an absolutely disastrous stop for myself there. I don't even know how long that was, but we come all the way down in P14 of this race. That was not what I needed there, and that is once again going to set us back even further in this Grand Prix there. We're back now behind Stoffel Van Dorn once more here, so not what I needed here, but a lot of these guys are on a set of these soft compound tyres here. They don't think they can make it through to the end of this race. I personally felt the softs, you know, they would last quite a while from free practice, so I was certainly willing to take the risk here with just 15 laps, well, I say only 15 laps to go of the Belgian Grand Prix. That is 2/3 of the race still, which is obviously very, very rare. You know, we don't really get races with this few lap counts here. One lap later, the last few drivers were making their first pit stops of the day. Ricciardo and Hamilton both actually going on to a set of the mediums, so they both definitely think they can make it through to the end of this race as well here. We set the fastest final sector of the lap as well, and honestly at this point I was thinking this is not over just yet. If all these guys ahead of me are on a harder compound, softer compounded tyre, sorry, we can certainly capitalise on that. One lap later, Stoffel Van Dorn basically is sitting duck down the back straight there. Now up into P10 once more of this Grand Prix, and honestly I just didn't want to give up. I love the Belgian Grand Prix circuit. I love this track so much. I just desperately wanted to win this one. Lap 9 now, all over the back of Valtteri Bottas here, and just look at the drive we're going to be able to get. He's not even going to be a challenge while we get into the DRS zone there. We're just going to be able to cruise past the Mercedes driver there, all the way up to nearly 220 miles an hour as we come to the end of the back straight there, and that is now us up into P9 of this Grand Prix once more here. Now Romain Grosjean and Max Verstappen here having a bit of a ding-dong as we come in towards the final couple of corners of the lap. Verstappen actually locks up the brakes in towards the final chicane there, and on the exit we're going to be able to get the drive, and now up into P8 of the Grand Prix. Fastest lap of the race, that as well, at 1 minute 45.5. I will certainly take that here, as now we try to look to close up to Romain Grosjean as well here. DRS, ERS, Rich Revs, overtake mode as well, and just look at that, nothing Grosjean could do. 221 miles an hour down at the back straight there, and well, we're now up into P7 of the Grand Prix, and we are taking time out of every other driver on the grid at this stage of the day. By the end of lap 10 now, all over the back of Carlos Sainz as well. You can see we're 1.5 seconds up on already the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We have just got ourselves into a rhythm, into a groove, and there is nothing that can stop us at this stage of the race. Seb sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, whilst we go right around the outside through the launch shot there of Carlos Sainz up to P6 of the race there as well. A little less dramatic with just how much downforce we have on this car. It doesn't really make it as difficult. Lance now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well on a 1 minute 44.6. We come through a 1 minute 43.1, 1.5 seconds clear of anyone else at this stage of the Grand Prix, and you just cannot argue with that at this stage of the day. And you can see 1 lap later now all over the back of Charles Leclerc as well here. And honestly, I know drivers saying in real Formula 1, but I just felt at 1 with the car. You know, the best drivers say it feels like it's grown out of your hands and legs, and that's exactly how it felt here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Around the outside of Charles Leclerc, nothing he can do about that one there. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, actually, as we came through the Blanchimont corner there, but we do make it work. And now we're up into P5 of this race once more here. And next up is Sergio Perez. Ooh, bit of struggling for traction out of the final corner there. 1 minute 43.9 there on that lap. We are still taking time hand over fist at everyone else at this stage of the race as well here. And now we're hopefully going to try and close up to Sergio Perez, although he is on the set of the medium compound tyres here, so maybe he's trying to go right the way through to the end of the Grand Prix here. Maybe that is what's going on, and he's actually a fight for position here. But 1 lap later, we are now all over the back of the Force India driver here. Are we going to be able to get good drive out of turn 1 here? Are we going to be able to get in the DRS here of Sergio Perez? I think it's going to be very, very tight as we come through Roosevelt. I think we are going to be close enough. Yes, we are. We're going to be close enough. We're going to have the DRS. Rich Revs overtake mode on the ERS as well. 222, 23 miles now, 224 just at the last moment there. And just look how far back we were able to come through to make that move work there. This car is just stupidly fast down the straights there. Lap 14 now, and the top 3 runners are now all making their final pit stop of this race here. They hadn't been able to save their tyres as well as I've been able to there. We'd actually been able to sneak the fastest lap now down into the 42s as well there. So we will re-inherit the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix with just 7 laps to go of this race. The tyres were going to be tough to the end, but I did think we were going to be able to make it work. Seb, though, comes out in P2 with much fresher rubber than myself, but this is going to be a crucial moment in the Grand Prix as well here as we now come up the Kemmel Straight once more here. Seb is back up into P2 of this race, but he needs to hold on ahead of Sergio Perez here to try and stay in P2 of this race and then be able to focus on catching me, but that is not what he's able to do. Sergio Perez in that Mercedes power car, he's going to be able to move up into P2 of the race there, and that really did not help Sebastian Vettel's case. And honestly, after that, the pace fell off towards the end of the Grand Prix. I'm not too sure if he picked up a bit of front wing damage from Sergio Perez as well there, but yeah, Seb would just drop down the order here. I think he's now under pressure from Charles Leclerc as well to even stay on the podium here with 3 laps to go of the Belgian Grand Prix. So what a turnaround that has been in this race. Seb looked from going from comfortable victory to threatening for the victory to now almost looking like he's barely hanging on. He's not even going to finish on the podium there. He's dropped way down the order by the end of the race there. But on to the final lap of the Belgian Grand Prix we go there. As I said, I don't give in these sorts of races. You know, if you really want it hard enough, just continue pushing and hopefully the rewards will come. And as we come in towards the final sector of the Belgian Grand Prix, the rewards have certainly come today. The last time I was able to take a race victory in this career mode was, I think, Canada 6 or 7 races ago now. But through the final couple of corners of the Belgian Grand Prix, we are finally going to be on the top step of the podium once more. It seems very strange to say that we haven't won in 6 races yet. We've still got such a dominant lead at the top of the standings. But through the bus stop chicane one final time, it is going to be the win in the Belgian Grand Prix there, and I will certainly take that.
Nice work, that's P1. Race win. Well done.
It's a well-deserved victory for Williams then after that breathtaking Grand Prix. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you've want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And I can see our drivers making their way out now. It's been a sublime team performance, and it's the culmination of a lot of hard work. Williams are your winners today.
Oh, well, that one certainly meant a whole lot to me in this Williams Road to Glory career mode. The very victory over Sergio Perez by 12 seconds at the end of the day there. Myself on the win ahead of Perez, as I said. Hülkenberg in P3, Charles Leclerc P4, Sebastian Vettel 5th, Lewis Hamilton 6th, Lance Stroll, unfortunately, all the way down in P7 there, ahead of Raikkonen, Ocon, and Max Verstappen rounds at the points. Valtteri Bottas once again in P11 there, with Grosjean and Van Dorn still with no points on the board, just missing out once more there. Brendan Hartley down in P14 there as well at the end of the Grand Prix there as well. But what a crazy race that was at the Belgian Grand Prix there. Carlos Sainz, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Gasly, with Ericsson and Fernando Alonso both not making it through to the end of the race. In terms of the driver standings, we extend our lead down to 45 points over Sebastian Vettel here, trying to get that lead up to now 2 race victories there, with Lance still in P3, just 1 point clear of Sergio Perez. Hamilton jumps Raikkonen, with Hülkenberg and Charles Leclerc jumping Ocon, Alonso and Bottas in that race. Bottas in the Mercedes down in P13. I didn't expect to be saying that. In terms of the constructors though, Force India, Rejump, Red Bull as well there. But there we are then, guys. That has been the end of the Belgian Grand Prix. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're new, make sure you do like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time for the Italian Grand Prix.